It
All
is
right.
going.
Okay. Uh, I'm joined with Jacob. Jacob, say hello.
Hello.
We're covering the Butterfly Murders today, filmed by Suey Hark. I think I don't have the information in front of me. 1979, I think.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's correct.
I'm a genius, straight genius. And let's see. It was your choice, Jacob, and I feel
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like I was
okay.
punished for Cherry Falls. I feel that this is me paying penance.
I
Um,
mean, Sui Hark's a cool fucking dude. He rules. This is actually my second of his movies. I saw the first one about 2 weeks ago. It was The Blade from the 90s.
I only believe in one Blade from the 90s, okay?
No,
um,
I honestly, the Blade fucking rules. And I also
no,
knew him.
I
Or
was
I was gonna.
trashing the movie like a little. I'll go into it. I didn't like completely hate it. I just found most of it unwatchable. But go on.
No, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I'm gonna guess very, very specific reasons, which is that more than anything, see, when I was looking up the movie, I saw people comparing it to like Giallo or Dario Argento's fantasy pictures, which I don't entirely agree with because it reminded me more than anything of like Euro horror.
Right, the way you sold it to me was kind of like,
It's a
um,
wuxia movie, but with mixed with a slasher, which is how it was
yes,
sold to me, of
which is
course.
how it actually kind of feels near the end, where
Yes.
where you unmask the villain and like they really do start like going one by like dying one by one. It
Well,
becomes a bit more focused for me near the end. Um,
yeah, I actually agree that I preferred the second half, although the first half for me held enjoyment purely because I really love watching like Jess Franco movies or like genre movies, like Virgin Among the Living Dead type stuff, like Euro horror movies where it all takes place in a mansion full of people and it takes 2 hours before the horror actually starts. And it's mostly just people talking. It reminded me of that, this kind of weird mellow pacing for a movie about butterflies murdering each other.
Yeah, I felt like such like a normie, such a pleb when I watched the beginning because I was like, "Holy shit, this 10 minutes feels like a fucking 35 minutes." Like, for the first half, it reminded me of like really cool. And first of all, like the camera work is really impressive. It elevates
Yes.
it from like the B movie that it mostly is, but it reminded me of like they saved Hitler's brain and Attack of like the killer bee women or whatever, like a really funny concept on paper, like a really cool one, and then like for the first half, the most boring execution of it possible for me was like
I,
I have killer butterflies and I'm bored. Um, but
I mean,
one thing that was a constant though is that I would happily die for that Green Shadow character. That person was awesome. Um, the woman who was just kicking
yeah,
ass in
no,
green.
my favorite parts were her just flying around the screen on a
Yeah,
piece of wire, but like it's actually in context a piece of wire that
if
she's
I,
like
yeah, it
Spider-Manning
is.
around on. Like it's not like when I say that for people that haven't watched it, I don't mean like they're doing the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon thing where they're like gliding. I mean like she's actually on a wire swinging from trees.
Yeah, she has a visible, tangible wire that
It's
she
great.
uses. She's awesome. Her introduction was like phenomenal. Her entire character is just cinema cool, really. And if I was to do like a 50 favorite slasher movie deaths, her grabbing an explosive crow or
She
whatever
just
is on
dies
there.
without realizing it. It's so
She grabbed. I'll never get over the ending of this movie. Like,
everyone just dies. I guess we're just going right into the ending. Yeah, everyone just dies at the end.
oh yeah,
You
I'm
get
so sorry. I'm
you get a 2 hour movie of just interpersonal drama between people stuck in this underground cavern.
Because at the
And
end, that's where I was like, now it's interesting. Now it's weird.
yeah, because the whole movie keeps building up these feuds between every single character, and then it just ends with them killing each other.
But it's like explosive birds. That's the part that I
Yeah,
loved.
explosive crows.
Yes, my
I mean,
homegirl dies by catching an explosive crow and being told no.
it's
Like,
so great. It's so great.
all right,
And
we didn't have to jump to the ending, but
well,
like,
I was gonna say that it is the arc the movie takes that I find most interesting because what I like is that it's so exposition heavy for the first half, and then by the time you get to the second half, you stop caring. Which
yeah,
in
you do.
because uh, for the record, like Sui Hark's a remarkable director. Like it's he maybe this is partially influenced by me having watched a movie he made I think some 16 years later, but in that movie the whole thing is it's a martial arts movie done almost entirely in close-ups, right, and
Right.
fast cutting, so like every motion it's like you're seeing the hand not the arm, or you see a guy's face while he's attacking instead of like his body. And you see a little bit of that here. It's not as pronounced here, but you definitely in the action or even in the butterflies themselves killing people, which is a funny thing to say. It's definitely focused more on small little shots that convey one thing and really fast, which I liked. I liked. It's just I think for me that the you don't get a lot of that until the second half.
No,
And
but in that second half, though, like there are some parts that oh, that really get me excited, get the cinephile inside of me excited.
like the leather-clad black like killer, the dude
Actually, I
in
really liked him. Yeah, yeah,
he's great. It's
that's a
great.
good aesthetic.
It's so cool, and it's again funny because that's your essentially like your slasher villain, right? And he comes in the last half of the movie. He's on
Hmm.
the poster of the movie. It's so strange. They completely forget about the butterflies, but you don't really care.
Yeah, I loved it when it felt like when it almost turned into a slasher. But there was some amazing camera work, like you were talking about, told in close-ups. Near the end of the movie, I forget the character's name, but like basically our main character and some other person he's feuding with, like squaring off with each other, and they're like walking
Yeah.
around this like gigantic pole in the center of this room that's about to collapse, and it
Mm.
switches from like each person's POV, and it's like, oh man, it like I
And
can't explain it. It's really nice, actually.
that for a finale, that's great too because those two men are both ostensibly like the main characters. Like you could really take either one as the main character of the movie,
Yeah.
and they're out to kill each other. So I wasn't sure who I was supposed to be siding with. I don't think it matters. I think it's more just watching them fight each other, or
I,
both try to fight this other guy.
I was just not I was just not like invested in it at all. Like I didn't
Well,
know that I was supposed to be guessing who this armored masked killer was. I was like, "Oh, okay, it's that guy that I think I recognize."
it is funny, but also interesting to me that the movie, just the arc it takes, because of course the first 20 odd minutes of it feel like a wuxia film, and
Yeah.
then it turns into an Agatha Christie novel about killer butterflies,
Oh
and then
yeah,
they
at
say, "Oh,
first I
it's not."
thought you were like way off base when I started it. The first 30 minutes I was like, "Man, Jacob's just got me watching a straight up like Hong Kong B movie right now."
I mean, to be fair, that
And
is something I would do to you.
that's,
And this may not be the last time I do it.
that's completely fine.
I'm gonna, yeah,
Now
I'm
I'm
gonna,
prepared. But it does take the turn though, and there are some like you were talking about Euro horror atmospherics that
well,
really
yeah,
get.
because it does the whole thing where it's mountains and people like climbing through trees, and then all of a sudden the next 45 minutes take place underground in a cave.
Mhm.
It's
And some of it's cool, but like I like way too much exposition, like to the point where I was
well, this,
reading it. I stopped it. Like I stopped remembering it. I stopped caring so
well, this
early.
is why I like how the second half ends up shifting almost entirely into pure like affect, like it's all just
Yes.
experience, it's the experience of it, which I admit I wish it started that earlier, but once it gets into that groove of where I don't think it matters if you pay attention to the actual character relations and it's just the experience of watching all these
Yeah,
different things come into conflict with one another.
but
Eh,
you don't get into those experiential qualities until the
yeah,
last
that's the
35
rough
minutes or
part.
so.
That's
Yeah.
the rough part, but once it happens, it's glorious. I think the first part that got me there was when they were setting up the tarps around the house because they still thought the butterflies were going to kill people. And so you get all these compositions of like people and their shadows or silhouettes on the tarps going in front. It's all these slow motion shots of the tarps in front of it. It looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. And then they started introducing new characters and new conflicts. I was like, were these people here before? I don't think they were.
Yeah, I was I was gonna feel in trouble. On Tenebrae, I was confusing Italian people. I was like, "Oh, fucking fuck this movie! I
It's
don't know who
definitely
anybody
harder
is, but my girl who wears the same color in every scene. I know who you are.
it was
Thank you,
definitely
Green
harder
Shadow."
in Tenebrae, to be fair. But no,
um,
it's fun. I really liked once the leather clad, I'll call
mhm.
him Jason, the killer shows
Yeah,
up. It's good shit. It's really good shit. The part where he has the weird I forget what you call it, that game. I don't want to call it a sport, but that game where you have like the thing that's like a curved arm thing that used to throw balls, and he has one of those, but it's for catching butterflies. And he
yeah, he
like
does.
it's the net thing he holds, and he drags it across a dude's face. It's fucking great.
Yeah,
I love that
yeah. Some
shit.
of the deaths were really rough. I liked them. Some of them were really rough and cool.
Well, once they're people getting killed, because when it's butterflies, the thing is, no one actually gets killed by butterflies in the movie. Of course, it's because you find they imply it. They imply it because they say like 2 days ago it started, and it's all a lie. And they show like a fake flashback in which the guy his wife is attacked by butterflies, but they're just like nipping her neck, and you keep finding the aftermaths of butterflies having killed people because you see bodies and there's butterflies, and they said the smells here, which is later the smell of the thing they
Yeah.
use to bring the butterflies. But they were all just killed by people, and then they put the butterflies there,
The,
and so you never see butterflies kill each other or kill people or know how they were supposed to.
nope,
But
not at
it is
all.
funny that all these serious people immediately are like, "Oh fuck, butterflies are killing people. What do we fucking do?" What?
Those fucking eldritch TNT crows did more damage. I still can't get over the crows or the birds, whatever the
It's
fuck they were. I can't get over them.
I saw, I think a friend of mine somewhere called this probably on like Flutterbox or something, called it Suey Hark does the birds. And I wish it was. I wish it was the bird, like actual birds instead of butterflies. That actually would have been rad.
That's
Especially
not bad.
if they always just blew up.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Uh,
Um
no,
I
a
should
lot of
also
people
oh
go
go
on.
ahead.
No, no, go on.
I was gonna say I also, so this movie is not widely available in the West, and the version of it we
No.
watched I think appears to be like a VHS copy, which I think is essential to the experience of it in a way. Like I cannot imagine watching this in any other format. This is not designed to be watched in Blu-ray. This is designed to be watched on like a VHS tape with like the scanning issues. It's supposed to look like that. It looks great. I know
That's
it's probably not his intent, but it was part of the charm for me, or the aesthetic appeal, I guess.
there was charm, but that's assuming it was ever meant. They're designed to be watched. I had problems with this movie. But I posted about it on Twitter, and like I've heard the name Suey Hark, kind
Oh
of,
yeah,
I
he's
think. Like,
incredibly popular right now, and
yeah, why?
well, again, to be fair, this is his debut film. He made tons of movies since then. He's still going. Um,
Okay.
very yeah, really brugger. Again, my only other experience with him is The Blade, which I watched recently, and it's fucking remarkable. It's really
Suey Hark reminds me of the kind of dude who's just trying to ice skate uphill, you know? And no,
well,
no.
let me describe The Blade to you. So The Blade is about, it's about a guy whose arm gets cut off, and so he learns to fight with his left hand, and then he trains like in a dilapidated farmhouse and hunts down the guy that killed his father using the sword his father owned, but his father's sword was broken in half. So he's using half a sword and fighting with his left hand. And he basically turns into a Beyblade, like spinning on the ground and like twirling his body. And it's all done in really fast cuts, emphasizing faces and limbs and arms. And it's fucking remarkable. It's fucking remarkable. I highly recommend it.
I believe you. I was just surprised when I posted on Twitter like four little like sneak peeks of just like videos I was gonna do, like movies I was gonna cover, and like there were some like big titles in there, you know, like Godfather, Coda, and well, like the Conjuring and stuff. But like the comments I got were woohoo, the Butterfly Murders, and
Yeah.
all this stuff, and I was like, well, shit, that's a lot more popular than I thought it was, especially considering it wasn't given a North American official release. Looking that up too.
People love
Um,
Hark, man.
I mean, I don't know. um, yeah, people have been looking forward to this, but I literally have like li- nothing, nothing for you.
No, that's fair.
Um,
Like I said,
but
my appreciation for this is mostly Hark's direction for one. He has
yeah, it's like
beautiful sense of composition. Like that shot where him and Green Shadow, the main dude in Green Shadow, they're both facing away from each other and it keeps cutting to their perspectives back and forth
yeah,
after they find the
yeah.
body near the beginning. Beautiful shots, beautiful compositions.
I just wish it helped the narrative, and I just wish it helped anything. Beautiful
Oh, see,
composition, but
this is my what I think what probably would have made me enjoy it more, because I did enjoy it, but I probably would have enjoyed it more if it was more narrative light. Um,
yeah.
like if it just dove headfirst into just the experiential qualities of his editing, um, instead of enormous amounts of time devoted to exposition and the mystery angle of it. Which I get what he was trying to do. Again, I get that he was trying to do this mystery
Here's the thing, I feel like a
thing.
fucking idiot because I didn't even realize I was supposed to be invested in the mystery. I got that they were trying to figure it out. I didn't know I was supposed to. I didn't know I was involved on this little Scooby-Doo trek.
It is a
So
little
I thought,
Scooby Doo, especially once the killer shows up, and they unmask him at the end. He says, "It was you all along."
yes.
No, that is a little Scooby Doo, but in a fun way. In a fun way. Like I said, once you got that second half, I was like, all right, I'm with you now. But it took a while, but I'm with you now, which I suppose is a
And there
little
are
late.
like
But
really cool moments, like what you're saying, and cool characters. And then I remember that it's inside of the Butterfly Murders, and like it completely devalues what I thought was good. I'm like, man, why all this hard work? Why all this hard work for, like you said, butterflies don't even kill anybody. It's just,
I did see somewhere that Suihart himself said that he wanted to redefine martial arts movies or wuxia movies specifically, or do something different from what other people are doing. I get you definitely see that though. He's trying to merge all these genres into one, which I think is exciting.
yeah. I mean,
But
sometimes when I like, I tell myself I'm recreating an omelet, but I'm just making like shitty eggs. You know, I don't know. That was
no,
okay.
no,
Now I can
that's a
see what
valid
he's
thought.
doing.
Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure.
I just what butterfly murders. It made me so mad. It reminded me. Okay, the composition is really good. Elevates it from the stuff I'm comparing it to, but like the fucking like 50 movies in this box from Walmart or like dollar stores that you'd get, and they'd all have all those amazing B movie titles on the back, and you get excited to put it on, and it's just the most boring movie
Oh,
possible.
I think that's why I have a soft spot for this is because I watch so many of those.
Yeah.
Because I go to those movie nights where they just pull something out of a hat that the dude found in his DVD collection. And it's always
Yeah.
like
I paid my
stuff
grindhouse
titled like
penance though.
it's all titled stuff like Virgin Among the Living Dead. Although that's a great fucking movie, but like that kind of ballpark of titles
Yes.
where yeah, and you're like you watch it late at night, you wonder, am I going to remember this? And you might not. And in the moment, you're like, I don't, for me anyway, I'm like, I don't know if I'm bored or just like lulled into the trance of the movie. And I'm just kind of rolling with it. I'm just rolling with it. I don't, there came a point where halfway through the movie, I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm kind of just going with it and and just vibing with it.
There were several times. Most of the time, I did not know. I don't think I knew what was happening once. So there's that.
To be fair, there is a lot of confusing lore that it doesn't entirely explain to you. Like, I think the
Needlessly
setup.
overcomplicated, convoluted, like intricate lore that goes on in voiceover for like it feels like 5 minutes, but it's probably only a minute. But still,
I mean, it goes throughout the movie because I think
yeah,
one of the core things of the movie is that there's like there was a war before the movie, and now there's 70 families, and the main guy is a member of one of those families, and then his people, his faction is all, they're all numbered, and so he's number one, and then he has number 10 and number, like it's really
yeah.
elaborate,
He can't
really
just have
elaborate.
number two, number three, number four.
No, it's number 10 is in charge of like this set of his men, and then number 2 is or something is in charge of this other set of his men. It's really
Why?
elaborate. It reminds me of like it almost reminds me of like shonen anime where you have
Oh,
these
I.
really
Oh,
elaborate like organizational structures. It's very strange. It's very
well,
strange.
another thing that like I hate. So maybe that's there.
We're narrowing down the details of this and why I enjoyed it. Or
Yeah.
begrudgingly enjoyed it, I suppose. I was hoping to enjoy it more than I did, I suppose, partially because I really liked the Blade, and also because so many of my friends really, really love Sui Hark and at least
Apparently, so
enjoy his
many of
movie.
my friends do too. I
I mean, I
don't
guess that just
know.
means we should watch more.
No, I didn't get the memo on this guy. Well, there, these are the same guys. No, 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 no.
just watch one of his Van Damme movies.
Which one did he do? I probably saw that one then.
He did Double Team, and he may or may not have done another one or two. I'm not sure though. He definitely did Double Team.
That the one with his twin?
I think so. I haven't seen it myself, so I'm not sure, but potentially yes.
Well,
And he made Once Upon a Time in China,
oh,
and
I've seen
he
that. Correct me if I'm
I
wrong. Jet Li.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I've seen that, and I think I like that.
And he made
If you haven't noticed, I've
tons.
taken notes on all of our other movies. On this
Yeah,
one, I didn't even Google search this fucking guy.
he's
Just,
great. He's great. I also saw earlier. I was gonna say this year, last year. A movie called Yes, Madam, which is like a cops and criminals movie. He didn't direct it, but he's in it. He stars in it, and he gets the best fucking action scene, which is where he basically, if I remember correctly, the plot of the movie, his character just steals shit and then sells it off to other people, and these bad guys are after him, and he turns his house into like a Buster Keaton set piece where he's like flipping over shelves or flipping around doors and shit, and he turns this really compact small apartment into this incredible action sequence. I don't know if he was in charge of setting it up, but the his physicality as an actor is great. It's almost, it makes sense that he became a director with that kind of talent, but
what was that one called
nonetheless,
again?
Yes, Madam. It's very
No,
fun.
sir. No, sir.
Yes,
And,
Madam.
um, it sounds. I mean, it sounds fun, but
He's
the
not the
end of
main
the
character in
day.
it. But yeah, go on.
No, it's fine. It sounds fun. You know, if that's what you're into.
I'm trying to reel you in just a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay. The fucking crow exploded. Okay, the fucking crow exploded. She
You
caught
say
it
that like
in
it's
her
not the
hand.
most like the most fucking awesome thing you've seen all
I say
week.
that like it should have been, and it shouldn't have been.
Don't
It shouldn't
don't
have
tell
just
me
occurred.
you're don't tell me you saw another scene from anything this week that made your jaw drop like that.
I'm. I watched 90 Day Fiance yesterday. Jaw drops everywhere. No, my jaw did not drop during. I probably went, "What? This is a finale. This is how you do it."
I loved that whole finale.
No,
So
the
weird.
finale is exciting. I'm not taking away from the finale. It's just, it's like the to what end? I'm like, why am I here? Why am I? Why am
Yeah,
I
no,
here?
I was more willing to forget why I was there. I don't remember how I arrived at the place with the exploding crows and people fighting from under rubble, but I was just happy to be there. But up until that point, I wasn't fully in it. I wasn't fully in it.
But to
It
be
took a
real,
while.
yeah, I love the aesthetic. I love the look of Jason in this movie. I love the look of him. He was awesome. Like it
Oh
was
yeah,
cool to
that's
see
good
him
shit.
running around and like seeing a Jason type figure do like kung fu moves.
Oh
It was
yeah, I
pretty
like I
exciting.
said, I love his whole first few action sequences with that guy. I thought they were fantastic.
They really were. They really were. It's just they they were in this movie, but they were really they were good scenes. Um, that last 35 minutes. Oh man, I wish I only watched those. The
Yeah,
first,
because see, if you caught this on TV and you saw those last 35 minutes, you'd think this movie fucking rules.
yeah, I probably would. I probably would at
You
least think, man, this movie is crazy without knowing the first fucking 55 minutes is a boring snooze fest.
not only that, but you would watch those last 35 minutes and think there's no butterflies here, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it makes sense in context.
Oh my, what the fuck is this movie? I don't know why.
Oh,
Everyone
you
knows
don't
who he is but me.
yeah,
Everyone.
he's up there with like King Hu and all those
He's,
guys.
well, that's for King Who. You said
Po-
it, not me. Um,
Popularity wise, yeah, he's up there. A lot of people have used those names together.
I was saying it like King WHO, like who is that?
Oh God, fuck you. How dare you? How dare you?
Oh man, these are
I know people that would hear that sentence and say, "What the fuck?"
yeah, yeah. They're watching this video because no one clicks on a butterfly murders analysis video without
You
loving the
say that?
butterfly murders.
Oh, I was gonna say no one makes a butterfly murders analysis, but the last time you said that, it turned out there was an hour-long Cherry Falls video, so
Because that movie is art. Okay, this is a.
is also art.
I mean, if we're just calling anything art these days. No, if you click on a butterfly murders video, I don't like Asian cinema fans are really they're a tough lot. They're a tough crowd, and I don't do any favors for them. Um, we don't really vibe, but there were some awesome things. I'm just kind of being goofy for goofy's sake at this point, but uh, well, at the same time, I wouldn't recommend it to a single human being on the planet. So I don't
I
know
would,
if I liked it.
but with reservation, only if you regularly watch the kinds of things I watch, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. It would have to depend on the person, I guess. I would never bring this to like a fun or not even fun to any movie night. I would never. After we make this video, I'm gonna forget it exists. So
Oh, don't worry, I'll keep reminding you.
No.
From every video he make from this point out, I'm just gonna say it reminds me of that scene in the Butterfly Murders. Remember?
As long as it's always the exploding crow scene.
It's so good. I still don't know why they were exploding, but I was so into it. I was
Like, I
like,
think they were magical. I don't know.
they just started exploding. And I thought, fuck yeah, exploding birds. I'm here. I'm in. You don't need
It's
to
like
sell me further. I'm here with you.
it's like I vibe with you, Green Shadow. I didn't think it was gonna blow up either. Why would I? It's a fucking bird.
Oh, the exploding birds. They're so good. In
That's
this
what the
weird
movie should have
like
been called.
Raiders of the Lost Ark set. It's
Yeah, it is. Like maybe all of these different elements just don't go together, right?
if nothing else, I admire the audacity of, because I don't think, I mean, I think they can go together. I'm just not convinced they did here. But I think that's more a problem of narrative structure and also kind of visual interest. Because the thing is, like in those caverns, where so much of the movie takes place, for sure some parts of it are more visually interesting than others, because
Yeah.
there's parts of it where he relies heavily on shadows and kind of
Dude, the parts
composing.
that were visually interesting pissed me off though. I'm sitting there hating the movie and then some visually interesting shit happens and my reaction isn't like that's awesome. My reaction is fuck you. I don't want to like any aspect of this. Like but go on. Go on.
Oh, I guess I just like it most when he kind of really chews up the environment and
He really
rolls
does.
with
He
it.
makes full use of every set piece.
In a way, I also like the more kind of montage moments of the film. Not all of which are montages, but like moments where it's more about like the music and the vibe of the scene, and
But
then
like
it goes
maybe
back
it
to the
was
expositional call, like exposition, and
like it's
it loses
exposition
me a
to
bit.
no avail though because I still had no idea what was going on. Like I was just saying it
That's
makes
the
use of
thing.
every set piece. I don't understand the geography of where they were. I don't understand anything about where they were going at all.
Yeah, I definitely,
Unless it was
yeah,
supposed
I
to be
think it
like labyrinthine, like a labyrinth maybe, but even that like I don't know if that was intended. I
labyrinth.
don't think it was. I think it was intended for
No,
me to understand the geography of this place because they spend so
no,
much
like I
time
said,
showing it.
it definitely reminds me more than anything of like a Euro horror
Mhm.
mansion movie in which, one of those like weird psychosexual, like again, Jess Franco movies. That's the vibe I had in my mind the whole time, but it never quite pulls off because like those movies have this weird hypnotic effect where you're entirely uninterested in the plot, but entirely willing to keep watching, which this didn't fully have for me, at least until, like we said, the latter half of it.
Yeah, I um I think it's an interesting It's not an interesting. It's a fusion of a movie, um, and I actually would call it like a slasher um, action movie, which is
That's the thing. We
fun.
haven't really talked much about its qualities as a slasher, despite this being a slasher series.
I think the qualities are there, and it becomes more focused as you realize that they're being methodically picked off one by one, and that some of them are are kind of archetypal or
Yeah.
like purely archetypal, but especially the whole it might be slightly ahead of its time with this like a masked kind of dude supposed to
Yeah,
apparently supposed to figure out who it is.
this is a few years after Texas Chainsaw. I think 2 years after Halloween.
Yeah, and after Black
So
Christmas and all that,
it's
but
definitely, yeah, not entirely outrageous that he's playing with the tropes.
I don't think it's
Although I
outrageous either, but like the movies you just named outside of like Black Christmas where there was question over like who the killer was, there are masked
yeah.
people, but it's not like a who done it like Michael and Leatherface did it, obviously.
Yeah,
Black
there's no
Christmas
question
like
that Leatherface. No one is saying, well, we didn't. Maybe Leatherface. Maybe it was wrong place, wrong time. I don't know.
yeah. Like Billy and Black Christmas, it's you know you it's a that's the enduring mystery of the movie, but Here, it's a masked dude, and you don't know who's beneath it. Like that's kind of neat. Um, it probably did appear before that. It's just here.
Yeah,
I don't know. It wasn't like the norm in slashers yet.
yeah, not entirely. And to be fair, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what kind of knowledge of American slashers was like in that part of the world at all. Like I don't know what like if Sui Hark saw those movies at all or if they were widely available at the time. I just don't know. Um, but could have been. I haven't looked into it.
Me neither. But I won't. Um, I'll just I'll just assume like because it's not the slasher qualities of it are pretty entertaining to see here because it feels I don't even know if I can say it feels deliberate, but it's like unmistakable. There's horror qualities at least, and maybe just
Well, that's the thing is the first half really is just like the birds. And then the second half, it's this weird thing where it's not really melding genres. It's just changing genres on a scene by scene basis, which is
yeah,
different. It's not like these genres coalesce into like one
yeah.
thing. Although I
You
guess
can, you
they
can
sort of
say
do.
you can
'Cause-
say that's a flaw.
Yeah, well, I guess they sort of do because they once the slasher thing starts, they have martial arts fights with him. So I guess that happens, but otherwise, no, they don't really coalesce often.
Yeah, I was too busy asking who is this to ask who done it, like most of the time. So when they reverted into that, I didn't know I didn't know a game was afoot. I didn't know it was fucking Sherlock Holmes. I didn't know what I was supposed to do there. Um, the mo- I just didn't like it. I don't know what to
No,
say
no,
about it. Uh,
I'm more willing to watch others, Sweetheart, than I am to revisit this, is what I'll say. I'm more interested
yeah,
in watching some of his other stuff because I want to see how he develops and changes. And there's movies by him I really want to see. Like I really want to see Time and Tide, which I've heard
I wish I
is
had something
great.
remotely like analytical to say about the butterfly murders, but I
I mean,
like don't
it's hard.
really not insightful. Um, I don't think that's my fault. I don't think it speaks to my limitations as a person, but I also don't think it's expected of this movie.
No, no, it's more about the ride, I think, the experience of it.
It is, but the
Which
experience gets compromised because it's not like a coalesced
exactly,
experience, as you were just saying.
exactly, exactly.
It's a pretty inconsistent one at best.
Yeah,
But well, one more time though, she jumps up and grabs this fucking bird. And it explodes. And she's told no. And she's like, what do you mean no? It's a bird. And then it explodes.
I really love that they all just die. Which is sounds weird to say, I guess, but that just really tickled me that they all just fucking eat shit in the most outrageous of ways.
they really,
Like
they do.
like they hype her up the whole movie and then she just accidentally grabs an exploding bird.
She
If
was
I
really cool, though.
if you watched the first 10 minutes of this and saw her character introduction with no idea what happens afterwards, and I told you she's going to die in like a split-second shot in which she grabs an exploding bird while Indiana Jonesing like across a cave.
I would say, it makes sense. Speaks to Sui Hark's subtlety. The first time we see her is gliding through trees
Like
like
a
a
bird.
like a predator on wings. Yeah.
There there's also right after that one of the other characters also explodes. Um, and there's like a fun little freeze frame on it where I'm guessing you don't remember, but they freeze frame on his body being blown up, and then it cuts to the next guy and he's crushed by boulders.
Nope. Yeah.
Oh, what a
That's
fun time! What a fun time!
a great pick, Jacob. You picked it.
Yeah, that
Picked it.
we. It's It's all. I'm gonna keep this up.
Gonna keep this up.
I'm
You
gonna
have,
keep. I'm gonna keep picking like wuxia and martial arts movies. I'm gonna say like, yeah, there's this great like obscure slasher movie called like The Legend of Drunken Master. We should really talk about it.
I've seen that.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm a big fan of the director though.
Cool. We're not covering it.
Uh,
uh, no, every time you recommend me a movie, I'm gonna look at your fucking letterbox to see if you've even seen it, and then and then we'll
well, so
see.
far I've mostly been suggesting ones I haven't seen. To be fair.
That's fine. But if it's the butterfly, if I look up the Wikipedia page and it looks like barren, like the movie might be not even be real,
No,
then I'm gonna look up your fucking letterbox and make
you
sure.
go on eBay and it only exists on like foreign VHS tapes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's literally it. There's like
That's the
one
vibe.
YouTube channel that posts it in its entirety and it gets taken down every month, but they're resilient.
It actually
They,
is on YouTube. It is on
yeah,
YouTube.
but it's only
In
been on
low
YouTube for
quality
like a
though.
month. It's only been on there for like a month. So
Yeah, very
I'm
low
pretty
quality
sure.
too.
Well, you
Gonna go
know,
onto that video and give it a like.
you you should low quality for low quality. It's like I feel an insult coming, and then I regret saying it as I say it. Because I just know, like, if people click on this video and they're not already subscribed, they're trying to watch people like celebrate this little known gem, and I'm just being an asshole about it. But you know, I'm sorry.
No, no, it's not for everybody. Not for everybody. Only fleetingly for me.
This is just some.
I'm mostly being more positive towards it in resistance to you overtly disliking it when really I'm mostly just mixed on it. I like parts of it. I was very uninterested for a large portion of it. And I liked it most when it got into just abandoning any semblance of being coherent and just dove into the just fights, bloodshed, exploding birds. Once it got there, I was all on board with it. Until that point, I struggled with it though.
Yeah, it was a struggle. I think that's good.
Good.
Unless, yeah, one more final thought.
Exploding birds.